I grew up in West Texas. I am a West Texas girl in Odessa, Texas, and then moved to Lubbock, Texas to do my college at the University at Texas Tech. And so I thought Lubbock was a mecca compared to Odessa because they had trees and they had lakes. So, yeah. I actually stayed in Lubbock and got a master's degree, and then I moved to Fort Worth, and that's where I did medical school. So we were there for 8 years. I had 3 kids there, and then moved back to Lubbock to do residency. From there, I opened private practice in New Braunfels, Texas, and that's where I've been. My original office is there, and it's been open for 16 years now. Then we moved to Bernie, which has been open about 6, and then San Antonio, which has been open 3, and now Austin, which has been open for just a year. We concentrate now pretty much on bioidentical hormones and wellness. We still run a full gynecology practice, but I don't deliver babies anymore. Well, basically, I'd always wanted to do medicine, but actually when I was an undergraduate, I had a counselor tell me I would never go to medical school. And unfortunately, I believed her. And so it took me a few years to realize that that is actually what I wanted to do. So that's why I actually went to medical school when I was 30. And so it worked out really well. She actually was then at the medical school at Tech when I did my residency there. So I reintroduced myself to her since I was the chief resident at that time. So, well, really, obstetrics was my first love. And before I went to medical school, I was a drug rep. And we had a birth control pill and prenatal vitamin. And so I called on a lot of OBGYNs at that time. And I really just fell in love with it. I had a child, and really, when I walked through the doors of medical school, I knew I wanted to do OBGYN. The thing I was concerned about was surgery, because I'd never actually seen a surgery, so I just wanted to make sure, I wasn't going to faint. And it turned out to be icing on the cake, so it was great. I had 3 kids of my own and was starting to miss a lot of their things because obstetrics takes so much time. Gynecology is great because I get to take care of my patients really from the time they start having periods all the way through menopause. So gynecology is a fabulous area to be in. As I said, we do a lot of hormone replacement and a lot of wellness. And so we very much gear our practice to treating each person as an individual. What one person needs, another person doesn't. So that's really what I love about what I do. We do cardiovascular assessment with the True Health Diagnostic testing. We do neurotransmitter testing. We do food allergy testing. We do full gynecology, and then, of course, the hormone replacement. Our patients would be like, can you please help my husband? He's worse than me. So we started doing some training, and yes, we do hormone replacement for men as well. Well, I would say the most rewarding thing is what's actually kind of been funny is like I'll be at HEB or whatever and run into one of my patients, and she'll be with her family, and her family's like, thank you so much for fixing my mom or whatever. So I guess that's probably the most rewarding when you actually can see a change in someone's life on a daily basis. Well, I have 3 children. I had one, my oldest, when I started med school. I had 2 in med school, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but again, I was old when I started. My husband he was a professional golfer when we met. And when I started residency, he decided to stay home with the kids. I originally asked whose kids, but he's done a fabulous job. And that's been 20 years ago. So now he does, he's a nationally ranked amateur golfer now, and would maybe like to do the senior tour at some point. My passion, other than my practice, is an organization called PINCC, PINCC, and I'm the medical director for that, and we actually travel all over the world training people how to recognize cervical dysplasia and treating it without electricity. So we train healthcare workers in third world countries, and once they've been trained and pass our standards, then we leave our equipment for them so they're self-sustaining.